signing up a real estate agent and their services. There's no one telling you what to sign and not what to sign and not what to sign. We're going to teach you right now. Stay tuned.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Minutes. Myself, Michael Bergio, also known as #1 commercial agent New South Wales, and Mark Novak. How are you?
Good, thanks. Novak Djokovic.
I've told my parents not to call me Michael anymore, to call me #1.
It's true.
But this is a big topic. I love it. This is a big topic because you want to know, and you're always asking the agent who's obviously wanting one outcome, and you don't know what's best for you. And you may not know what are the different agency agreements for selling, renting, residential property, commercial property. You want to know. So this morning we're going to be talking about when an open agency may apply, when an exclusive agency will apply, rentals and sale. Luke Moroney, Frida, Jeff. That's a good one. Okay, so Mark, let's do the residential rentals. Tenants moved out.
Yeah, so you've got to basically when you're appointing a real estate agent to sell for you, to rent for you, you must do it in writing. That's the law. So you can't just say, mate, can you sell my place, or mate, lady, can you rent my place, or whatever the order is. You've got to actually do it in writing. So the agents have a standard pro forma of what the government makes them have in writing, and it's called a...
Sorry, I was reading. So, yeah, go on. Agency agreement.
Agency agreement. So there's an agency agreement between the seller and the agent that gets authorized. The agent must sign it and all owners must sign it when selling. And there's also a rental agency agreement that gets put in place between the agent and the people that are renting out their property as well. All people renting out their property have to sign it as well. So these are the two agreements that we're going to talk about this morning, rentals and sales. And then within those rentals and sales, there's things you really must watch for. There's hooks, there's stuff, there's costs. You really got to keep an eye out for some of these things in there. Let's talk about them.
Yeah, so on residential rentals, you commonly see an exclusive leasing and management agreement. A lot of the time there's two in one. You've got the management agreement, which has the leasing in there. More often than not, it is exclusive. The agent that finds the tenant manages the property. You can...
What's this called? Commercial?
Residential leasing agreement managing.
Can you say that again?
Most of the time, a residential leasing management agreement is in one. A management agreement with the leasing clause in there. More often than not, the owners will have the agent manage it as well. So that's pretty common to go exclusive. The things to watch out there would be the termination period is a big one. If you're not happy with the services, that's probably your biggest one. Some people have 4 months, 3 months, 2 months. That's probably the biggest hook you want to look in there, and also other charges and what are the services they're actually applying. And with a leasing agreement, yep.
You've got to be careful because this stuff's not regulated. So there's not like a minimum or maximum sort of thing within that. So it's really, you got to be really careful. These costs are not standardized across the industry.
As Luke says, negotiate the terms and conditions. But a big thing people don't realize, the 3-month management, it can sort of not matter. And what I mean by that is let's say you're not happy, you find a new agency. That new agency, more often than not, can pay out the fees they would have gotten for that termination period. A lot of owners make a big deal out of it because they go, well, what if I'm not happy? I can't move for 3 months. It's not the case. A good managing agent who you're engaging their new services will go, they have a 3-month termination. They would have accrued 5% on $500, $20, $25 over 3 months. Let's say it's $100. We'll pay the outgoing agent the $100. We take the management straight away and we start collecting. So it's a hook, but if you know how the process works, then it's not too bad. If you're going to self-manage, then yeah, you would have to pay them out and you would collect it. And a leasing agreement.
So guys and girls, we are talking about rentals if you've just tuned in. How to appoint an agent with a rentals agreement, and in a sales agreement, that's going to come up in a second. Sorry, Michael, back to you.
Yeah, and there's a few little things like marketing. What do you pay for? What do you not pay for? But just remember, marketing's a tax write-off. A lot of owners get really caught up over a couple $100 and the asset's worth $500,000. Let's look at the big picture. Let's get a good tenant. And I think owners look at it long-term. Get professional photography and you can reuse them. But that's another topic. Leasing agreement. Just, Mark, talk us about if you're going to self-manage or you've got another agent to manage it. What's the leasing agreement look like?
Well, guys, don't forget there's two distinct functions in what an agent does for rentals. One is locating that tenant, just the tenant, at the rent you want, at the time you want to go in. The second is to look after that tenant over a 12, 24, 36 months, whatever, 5-year period, whatever it is. That would be a managing agency agreement. So there's two functions, and like Michael said, they're built into one agreement. The leasing function, the locating of the tenant function, basically in residential is 1 week plus G Ustoi, and in commercial 10, 11, 12% depending on the tenure, 3, 5, 10 year, 15-year leases, whatever. So
yep.
It's 10% of the annual rent that comes in. So that's the leasing function, and at the end of the day, as an owner, you do get to choose the tenant that you'd like to put in. The agent will present that tenant to you and you get to choose them, but it's the authority to say, I'm happy to pay that amount and I'm happy for you to act for me. Now, Michael, do you have to use an exclusive leasing agreement for residential or commercial?
No, you can have
one agency only.
No, you can have multiple agents and agencies marketing your property and have it as a little bit as a free-for-all. Whoever finds the tenant is the winner. Sometimes this is a good strategy. Sometimes it's not. And the thing to remember is if an agent has, let's say they've got 10 properties and 9 of those properties, they're guaranteed commission if they work hard, find the tenant that you're happy with. And 1 property, they've got a 1 in 5% chance. Think about yourself. Where would you mainly focus? On the property that you have a 25% chance of getting paid, or the 9 where the clients have guaranteed you payment if you find the services and who have backed you? So be mindful of that. There are occasions where the lead time or leasing time may be quite long, especially in commercial property. There may be average days on market 6 to 9 months, and it's quite common. Commercial northern beaches, especially retail, it's quite common. An owner will be calls their top 3 agents. There you go. You all have access. You all have marketing privileges. But the one thing I always arm wrestle with that is the owners goes, I won't spend anything. You guys go. And then you just get half-assed marketing because no one knows who's getting paid. It could take 6 months. Let's just do iPhone photos. Let's just put it online, or it's.
If you're not committing to one agent, why would one agent commit to you? It's simple, guys. That's leasing. That's management. That's the agency agreements. Let's talk about sales.
Yeah, sales quite often is an residential, once again, exclusive agreement, open agreement. A lot of the time, an owner will go exclusive, potentially in the pre-market, off-market, before realestate.com phase.
Sorry, Michael. Sold. So you got exclusive. One agent can sell it. Owner cannot sell. Sole, the owner or one agent can sell it. You don't see them much, but a sole agency is not a bad option, and it's there. And 3 is the open. Back to you.
Yeah, so you sometimes before going to market, an agent may say to owner may say to 2 agents, hey, we're thinking of selling, do you have anyone? And they'll come through. But most often than not, because the marketing campaign is $5,000 to $10,000, you want to back one horse. So the interview period, the agent selection is rigorous. You're looking at all their past deals and you're going, I'm going to spend 10 grand. I'm going to invest 10 grand on my property. I'm going to, rather than going 2 grand on, say, 3 agents or not at all, it has to be done. It's a big asset. So you back one horse and you give them a time frame of 60, 90, 3 months to find it. But I just want to clarify, a lot of people don't understand with a sole exclusive. It's because sometimes another agent will approach you with the buyer. They can do a deal with the existing agent and you don't have to be on the market the whole time if you're not happy. If it's 90 days and after 1 month you've decided not to sell, you can withdraw the property. It's just and it just means that if you find the buyer yourself, you can still sell, but they get paid. Exclusive basically means no matter who buys it. I know some owners we can go to a lot more detail around that, but yeah, Mark, what about with commercial or anything or open listing? Maybe on a larger property, days on market a little bit longer. You sometimes see that. When do you see an open on red?
I think exclusive is the way to go. I think opens are normally when you don't want to commit to one agent. And I've got to say, if you don't want to commit to one agent, you probably haven't found the right real estate agent out there. Very, very, not very, very common. We're talking about selling now. Obviously, commercial renting a little bit different, but certainly with selling, exclusive, you do get a committed agent working for you, spending money on you, spending time for you. Open, it's sort of like maybe just one buyer through. I don't really want to commit to you, not even for one day. I just want to do an open. Or if a property hasn't sold over a long period, you may have an open with 3 or 4 agents out there.
Yeah, Michael, good question. A lot of agents are putting a range in their commission section rather than fixed, e.g. 1.5, 2.5%, the vendor on successful sale. Thoughts, boys? I've been doing this for about a couple of years now. Flexi fee, basically the way I present it to clients is agents will come in at the beginning where they've just met, beating their chest, saying they're the best, and they want the highest fee. But we haven't proven ourselves. We haven't worked. So I say to vendors, I can do it 2 ways. We can do it straight, a flat fee, or I like to do a flexi fee. And it's not based on price. Because I say to vendors, you can get a great price and have a shit experience. That's not what I want. I want it to be based on your happiness at the end of the sale. You may be very happy, the market wasn't there, and you get the price, and you choose. So I love that. A flexi fee, been doing it a while. It's really good. It takes basically the whole commission conversation out. Commission, I don't want it to be like when you're talking about the strategy, commissions are relevant. It's almost like where people go, I want to take it out. I want to speak about it later. Let's talk about how we're going to get the best price for the property. Commission and price, I almost want to not talk about, because commission, you don't want the cheapest agent. Price, we're not buying it. But how we're going to talk about the process and the steps to get the best price is the conversation. So, Michael, good. Yeah, we do it now. Mark.
So in an agency agreement, there's a couple of elements to keep an eye out for. Is the fee that you're nominating. So that's if the agent successfully sells a property, there's a percentile that'll go, which will go against the sales price. The other thing that'll be on there is how long you're committing to that agent. typically you're seeing anywhere between 30 to 90 days in the industry. Again, that's it's up for grabs between you and the real estate agent. And then the third one's marketing. So that's okay. I understand what the percentage is if you get on the sale of the property. I understand how long it'll be exclusive with you for in the event of not selling. How long will this last for? And then the third one will be marketing, which will be what am I actually up for if you don't sell the property, or you do sell the property, what to the dollar and am I up for? And the government makes the industry put that in writing, the advertising, the percentage, and the term.
Exactly. Now, commercial sales, it's quite common there's two scenarios. It's quite common to have an open sale agreement, but it's also an exclusive. Now, on typical assets which are highly desirable and saleable, even if they take 3 months, but they're a desired asset, same sort of deal. An owner spending 10 grand on marketing, they nominate one agent, they do the campaign. If it doesn't sell, then sometimes it will go to open, quite commonly. But then some assets where days on market has been 6 months, 12 months, you could see it go to open agreement straight away. But also a lot of deals are sort of done off market prior, and that's open as well, where it's a very tight-knit bubble of clients, and they've gone to 3 clients and sort of 3 agents and said, hey, if you get this price, I'll sell.
And that's agency agreements.
Yeah,
and Michael, cheers.
Suggested this comment, this topic. Thank you very much, Tony. What's your exit clause from an exclusive agency if you're not happy? To be honest, we haven't exit clause. If you're not happy, we just exit. I don't. If you get to the stage that they want out, it's not. I don't try and hold it. Obviously, you don't want to get to that stage. But if they're at a position,
I've never had it happen in my life.
Yeah. You just sort of end it regardless of what's written in the thing. You don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one. You can end by mutual agreement. So if both parties decide to walk away, put it in writing, and even that 30, 90, 60 days can by mutual agreement be terminated if mutually agreed by both parties. And don't forget that even when that agreement's over, guys, I've sold clients' property 6 months later, and the outgoing agent or the old agent has claimed for a commission. So just don't forget that even if you've got an open agreement, even if you've got an exclusive that's expired, just make sure you nail the agent with a letter, the outgoing agent, because your new agent who may do a wonderful job and sell it, you may have to pay 2 commissions.
Yep, perfect. And that's a wrap. Thank you, everyone. Monday, it's a good day. Good start to the week.
Hey, Michael, what's yours ready?
Yeah. Oh, Mark, watch this. Watch this.